You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA. Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing episode of the Daily African Proverbs. My name is Simon Javan Okello, and I am really excited to be here with you today, especially because it's a Wednesday and I have Chioma Sheri, who is my guest every Wednesday here for the Daily African Proverbs. Chioma, how are you doing?
I'm really good. It's a new month. Happy Black History Month. Also, Valentine's coming up, so it's a month of love. So I'm happy. I'm happy to be here.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy that you're here as well. If you want to see Chioma and I live and direct, we are on YouTube, and the link is right at the top of the room. And also feel free to share this conversation on Twitter. Share this conversation on Instagram, and share this live stream. If you're watching on YouTube, please share the live stream with your community members, and also comment with your thoughts about today's proverb. The proverb that we are discussing today is coming all the way from Equatorial Guinea, and it says, before you buy shoes, measure your feet. Before you buy shoes, measure your feet. So I want you all to think about what this proverb means to you. If you are on Clubhouse, I would love for you to join us on stage. I see that we've already been joined here by Simply E, who is going to be helping, with just building our conversation today. And Simply E is also helping with promoting these Wednesday sessions. The hope is that we continue growing this village that we have been building over the last year. So this is the 13th month since we started the Daily African Proverbs on Clubhouse. Now we are on YouTube. Soon we will be on Mars. Anyway, Simply, can you just quickly introduce yourself and share with our audience members how they can be more engaged today?
Sure, absolutely. And thank you, Simon. Yeah, this is Simply E, the poetess. I absolutely love this space. The the vibration of the space is so special for me. And um, as you'll be able to see yourself, it will resonate with you as well. Um, for the space, if you know people who like positive vibes, especially when you're in a space like this and you're enjoying it, don't be afraid to spread the word. Ping them in the space if they're on Clubhouse. If they're not on Clubhouse and they're on other different platforms and social media, also the Daily African Proverbs are on YouTube live, and also Twitter, and on Instagram. Definitely on Instagram in the mornings, you can get the Daily African Proverbs there as well. So be at home at whatever platform you have. You can go across the spaces to feel the vibes. And so I appreciate this space. I know you will take a good opportunity to reflect back, build, and move forward and build your future. Thank you, Simon, for the space.
You're most welcome. Thank you again so much. And for those who are joining us for the first time, Wednesdays are really one of my favorite, sessions of the Daily African Proverbs, because we don't only dissect these proverbs and learn and gain African wisdom from them, but we also listen to a poem that is in alignment with these proverbs. And so, my special guest today, Chioma Sheri, is going to share with us her interpretation of this proverb. Chioma, do you want to take a stab at sharing your perspective on this proverb? Again, it
Yeah.
says, before you buy shoes, measure your feet. Share your thoughts.
Okay. All right. So I really like this proverb because it's so true. What I take from this proverb is like before you commit to a thing, before you accept a thing, you need to really know yourself, know who you are, and know like your capacity. Because like you got to know if the shoe fits or not. Because if it doesn't, you got to know if the shoe is for you or not. Because if it doesn't fit, it can either be too small, and it can be like it can crush you. It can make you think less of yourself, or it can be too big and just like way out of your capacity, way out of your hand. So like when I was reading this, I also kind of like imagined like someone going to the store, like to a shoe store, and they didn't like measure, they don't know what size they wear. So it's either they're gonna pick up the wrong shoe, or they're gonna waste time in the store trying on so many shoes. When you could have just knew your size and went to the store and get your shoe. So it's like either this proverb is saying know yourself so you won't get into the wrong thing, or so you won't, waste time. So this is what the proverb said to me. And like another thing that came up for me in this proverb, just like dissecting it. And this is just for me personally, like sometimes I have a tendency of like marking things like good or bad. And to me, this proverb was just like, it's not necessarily bad or good. It's just that the shoe doesn't fit, so it's not for you. So know you so you can get the shoe that is your size. So that is what the proverb was to me.
Man, I love it. I love it. This proverb reminded me so much about growing up in Kenya and always wearing shoes that does not fit you. Sometime an uncle had an old pair of shoes, and you have no shoes, so you have to take the shoes and add things in it, so that add socks in it so that it fits, or take it to the shoe repair so that they can resize it to fit you. But even now, if you go to Kenya, especially where I grew up, you'll find little people with very big shoes. And then it's just amazing what these proverbs make you think about. So thank you again. Now I want you, before you share with us the poem that is in alignment with this proverb for you, I want you to actually take us on a journey. Just if you think about your upbringing, is there any incident or any story that this proverb reminds you about?
This proverb is really interesting to me, because I feel like it speaks even more to me as an adult than it did like childhood wise. Because like when I think of children, it's like um it's hard for them, like they're figuring themselves out, they're going through so much, like based on how I interpret this proverb. And then also you just have so much stuff going in the world, and like so many people over them, like parents or like older siblings who are telling them like what shoe they need to buy. So sometimes they're not always able to like make the choices themselves. So like the first time I thought of like a childhood incident, like I was thinking of the high school that I ended up going to, and I was like, oh man, if only I knew, like that high school was not for me. Not at all. But I didn't know that, and I also didn't necessarily have like the full choice myself. But a more fun story, a light story I have, is a story of when I like snuck some snacks that I wasn't supposed to take. So my sister, she's very kind of like go against the rules. She just does whatever she wants. And I was kind of like follow the book. Like I don't do anything I'm not supposed to do. And one thing we weren't supposed to do was like eat in our room, especially like at a certain time. And my sister was just like, go get some snacks from the fridge. And I knew in my soul that I shouldn't do that. Like it felt all sorts of wrong. Like I knew that wasn't me. But I was like, you know what? She was pressuring me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. I went downstairs, went to the fridge to go steal some snacks. And on my way back to the room, and I was so happy. I was like, I did it. I was like about to eat the thing too. My grandma called me as soon as I had like the grape in my mouth. And this was like one of those big grapes with seeds, not like these GMO grapes. As soon as she called my name, like the grape got stuck right in my throat, like right in my throat. And that's like one of my earliest memories of me like choking. And that's also one of my earliest memories of remembering myself pray very hard. Like I was saying all sorts of prayers, like the Hail Marys, Our Fathers, everything. And God answered because I'm still here. But after that, when I tell you, I was like, I don't even want to eat this. I didn't even want to eat the snacks. I don't know how, if the story ended in me either like giving my sister the snacks and me not eating it myself or putting it back. It was either those two, but I do remember not eating that. Like I was like, nope. And I was like, if I would have just listened to myself, I wouldn't nearly have choked. So that's just like a little fun story I think about.
Love it. I love it. Man, childhood, you can never, your upbringing and the little stories and the incidents that happen as a little person, they really shape who you are. They really shape who you are. And I'm always excited to hear your stories, especially in alignment to these proverbs. Growing up in Kenya, we used to have Kenyan made shoes, and all shoes that were made in Kenya were called Onyango made. Like locally made shoes. And Onyango made is like a local name, especially in the region I grew up in. Onyango was a very common name. So you'd find that, you truly had to measure your feet before you could buy your shoes. But sometime, like I was saying earlier, affording shoes was no joke. And to see someone with a brand new pair of shoes, even if it was Onyango made, was really good. And then we had a local Kenyan brand that made shoes that actually sells internationally. It's called Bata, Bata.
I'm taking these notes, okay?
Bata makes good shoes. If you had Bata, people knew that this guy had some money. Okay. Bata, especially they had these Sahara boots, a really nice pair of suede Sahara boots. If you go to Kenya, if you want to be known as a local, you need to be wearing one of those Bata pair of shoes, and they're very unique and they're very, very durable. Anyway, I'm not promoting Bata with this show. I'm just excited to talk about this proverb, and I'm excited about my guest today, Chioma Sheri. If you're joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel, and also make sure you're adding your comments down below so that we know what this proverb means to you. And also, press the thumbs up button so that when we are live tomorrow, you are notified. But if you're on Clubhouse, please remember to follow the African Father in America Club, and also ping in 3 to 5 people to join us for today's conversation. And now we are in the most exciting part of, these Wednesday sessions, where Chioma takes this proverb and turns it into a poem. So we are going to listen to what you have for us today, and also stay in the room because she'll be sharing this as part of our closing today. Thank you so much, Chioma.
All right. Thank you, Simon. Okay, so I just want to preface this and say that there was a line that I was battling with when I was like writing this poem. I didn't know which to choose. So for those of you who are listening, I'm going to read it one way the first time, and then at the end of the session, I'm going to read it the other way. And hopefully you're listening close. And if you're able to like pick out the change in the line, just like, let me know which one you like better. Just DM me or ping me or whatever, and just let me know. But yeah, all right, let me share. All right. What happens when you don't know yourself? You start picking up everything, anything up off the shelf. Got a somebody that's toxic, eating you alive. Got a jacket that don't fit 2 or 3 times your size. Got a career you picked yourself that's making you drown. Got pants that's way too big. Any step and it falls down. Not enough room in your belly, but all that food in your bowl. You keep wanting another half when you've always been whole. You a winner out here, but you moving in defeat. Baby, remember before you buy shoes, measure your feet. Here we go.
I love it. I love it. I wish, I just wanted you to continue, Okay, I'll let Simply E take the response to this before we continue on with the conversation.
I mean, that's so accurate. You're picking up on so many notes within the proverb. And that's what I appreciate is the fact that you're taking a piece from the front and you're going around, you're looking from side to side in there. And so thank you for the quick journey of the wisdom inside of this daily African proverb. I loved it.
Thank you, Simply.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm just so grateful that Simply is here to listen to your poems from a poet's perspective. And also, I'm happy that Mala is also here. Two people that are, huge supporters of your work. I want to welcome everyone who is joining us for the Daily African Proverbs for the very, very first time. This is a sacred space. We've been cultivating it for the last 12 months. This is the 13th month, which also happens to be Black History Month. So, if you believe in who we are and how special we are and how great we are, and you can look into this Clubhouse room right now and just see how this space is filled with greatness. And I just hope you can pinch yourself and be proud of yourself in this moment. I feel that we are all in the right place at the right time with the right people. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Now, Chioma, I want us to probably give a chance to our audience members to share their perspectives a little. And I want you to take notes so that at the end you can, wrap it up with your closing remarks, and also share the poem one more time, and then also share how our friends who are here with us can support you. But before we do that, I actually want you to share with us your favorite poem or your favorite poet of all time.
Simon, you and these questions. I'm like, oh, how you gonna ask me a question like that? Of all time, that's a hard thing to say because I haven't read enough poems to be like, this is my favorite poet of all times. But I'm going to name the OGs that are very special to me, some of which I'm even like, I guess, delving deeper into now because, like, as a child, you might have gotten like, introduced to like Maya Angelou in school or maybe one Langston Hughes poem or something, but I've been like delving deeper into them. So for me, I would say obviously some Maya Angelou, some Langston Hughes, some June Jordan, Nikki Giovanni, Lucille Clifton, Audre Lorde, Gwendolyn Brooks, and I'm going to stop there. So those are just some that I read.
Wow, I wanted to see what Simply thinks. Simply, do you think she should just give us one, or you're fine with all the options she gave us?
Please be fine with my options.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I know why you would make a decision on either. So I'm gonna bow out of this. I don't want to
Yeah,
be in
I
trouble
mean,
later.
what I can do, Simon, I can tell you. Okay, so a poem recently from one of those writers that have like moved me or that I just really like. So from Gwendolyn Brooks, there's a poem called When You Forgotten Sunday, the love story. And for some reason, there's something about it that I really like. Just something about it that I really like. So that's what I can give you, Simon. That's all.
Thank you. I'll take it. Thank you so much, Chioma. I know this one was a tricky one, so I'll
Yeah,
keep.
that's so hard. That's so hard.
Thank you. Anyway, I want to invite our friends who are here with us. I'll just start with you, Simply. Share with us your perspectives on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. The proverb says, "Before you buy shoes, measure your feet."
I think this is so wise, and I can equate it to two quotes that I've heard before. And so in America, there's a quote that people say, "Look before you leap." And then in the carpentry world, or in the world of construction, there's something that goes along the point of um, measure twice, cut once. Okay, and so
I
all
like
of
that.
this um, all goes together. because it's pretty much talking about the accuracy of doing the thing, right? We don't want to waste any energy. We don't want to waste any attempts or waste any time, I think is really the thing. Um, Being very intentional in our lives is what I'm getting from this African proverb. I think it's very, very wise because it saves us time and turmoil and all these other things by being more of a planned or taking more of a planned approach in what it is that we really, really, really want to focus in on. So I can really appreciate this. It's a reminder to be a little bit more efficient. And thank you for for this African proverb because I kind of needed this one. I needed some accountability.
Me too, Simply.
Wow, thank you. We all do. We all do. You're not alone in that regard, And it's definitely a reminder that you should watch your step. Before you make your moves. Imagine the impact that move that you're about to make is going to have, not only on yourself but on the world around you. So thank you so much. Nonofo, share with us your perspectives on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be in the space after a very long time that I was not around. And before you buy shoes, measure your feet. I think it's about capacity. It's about before you do anything, what's your capacity? What's your capability? How far can you stretch for you to actually achieve that which you want to achieve? It is more like before you embark on a journey or on a quest of something, introspect, know what's happening, know what you might encounter, have plan A, have plan B, have plan C, search all directions before you actually commit to something. Are you ready for it? Can you deal with the both the positive and negatives that comes along? Can you deal with the pressure of that which is happening around you? This actually reminds me of a current situation that I've been facing with my endeavors to embark into advancing into politics. And the thing was, am I ready? Have I measured my feet enough to step into this arena? And I've realized that I need to go back and measure my feet properly. So it just hit me hard in my spirit when I saw this: before you buy a shoes, measure your feet. So I was like, no. This is about, before I even try to do something, what are the possibilities? What are the pros and what are the cons? Thank you.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm so happy that you're considering joining politics. I really want conscious African and Black people to be in politics, because we have leaders who, they're failing and they'll continue failing. And the more we have young people like you who are visionaries in positions of leadership, the better it is for everybody. So my brother Joseph Kafunda, Nonofo is in your region. You should find her and support her. But I'll continue on with our, just creating space for our guests to share, your perspectives. We have Sharon here on stage on Clubhouse. Yesterday, I learned that those who are watching on YouTube are always wondering, where is this stage that you're talking about? So the stage and how people can actually engage in this conversation is by being on Clubhouse. So this event, this Daily African Proverbs, is bringing two communities together. There's a community on YouTube that love watching it. Many people are probably preparing to go to work, and they just have this on their TV or they have it on their phone as they do what they need to do. And those who are on Clubhouse are interested in also contributing their perspectives on this proverb. So if you want to join us, the best way to get the link to this conversation is, number one, go to Twitter, and my pinned tweet has the link that will bring you to Clubhouse, or just use the hashtag Daily African Proverbs and it will bring you straight into the Clubhouse conversation. And again, thank you all for being here. Sharon, share with us your thoughts about today's proverb that says, before you buy shoes, measure your feet.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I didn't expect to be called on like I'm in a college class, but thank you for allowing me to speak. When I think about it, it really just reminds me of the need to really know thyself, know your needs, know your desires, know your goals, before committing to things, just making sure that those align with you and your purpose, in any situation. Um, I find it really resonates now because I'm in a position at work wise that doesn't fully resonate with me. And so this was timely and really inspirational. So that's my takeaway from it. And I agree with what has already been shared. And I'll say asante sana for the opportunity to share.
Karibu, karibu. I see Chioma smiling a lot here. I wonder if you guys know each other. Chioma, do you have something
Yes,
to
we
say?
do. No, it was
Yes,
so nice. You said Sharon. I was like, wait, Sharon. So grateful to have you here, Sharon. She's just she's a light. She's also been joining me on my writing journey. She's writing haikus, like wonderful haikus. So yeah, just thank you for being here, sis.
thank you for inviting me. I told you I would show up.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You did. Thank you so much, Sharon. I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope you'll join us next week again. Fred, how are you doing today? Thank you for your continued support. Share with us your perspectives on today's proverb.
I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully, everyone else is doing pretty good. So, shoes to me is your spiritual connection to the day, every day. You can wake up like, okay, or some people might say your spiritual journey. How I'm gonna walk through this day, how I'm gonna walk through the week. And whatever mood you get ready to step into, I think about it every day. Every time I get to walk out of the house, what pair of shoes am I gonna wear today? If I have a business meeting, or if I'm going to jog, or if I'm going for a casual walk, my feet is my spiritual connection. The shoes are the physical connection, my preparation. So when I walk out, it's like, okay, am I going to play basketball in dress shoes? No, bad move, bad move. So it sets the tone, the external tone. So shoes set the internal. I mean, feet set the internal. Shoes is the external. So I had to determine when I'm talking about buying. Before you buy your shoes, the buying is to telling myself a story. I'm gonna buy into it. How am I gonna approach this day? Am I gonna accomplish this thing? How am I gonna achieve this thing? So with the feet coming into the shoes, once they align, then it's achieved. Whatever I set out to do that day, I'm gonna achieve that thing. That's how I see that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful perspectives. I see Chioma is taking a lot of notes, so stay with us if you're in the room so that you hear what she has to say about all these amazing nuggets that we are getting from all of you. My brother Joseph Kafunda is always co-hosting a travel room here with me on Clubhouse every Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We talk about hidden travel gems and just top travel destinations in Africa that you should have on your radar. And I also share a travel trip that I organize every year. I have been organizing trips to Kenya for the last 7 years. So, Joseph, share with us your thoughts. If you want, you can also share with us what we should expect during today's session at 1:30 p.m. PST.
Thank you, Simon. You know, for Being a politician, it's not something that you have to readjust yourself. Just throw yourself out there and see how's the market going to be. So don't hesitate once you want to take one step ahead, because once you take a step back, you always have step backs. So go ahead. I wish you all my best. As a counterpart in SADC, I will be able to support you. If I have to come and vote, you will have at least one vote from a Namibian who is Botswanan by default. Simon, today's Proverbs. Let me look. Before you buy shoes, measure your feet. To be honest, when I'm going to translate these Proverbs for me, or how the Proverbs is speaking to me, it's like when you buy a shoes, that shoes become your friend. That shoes become your best friend. It become your companion. It become everything that you can be able to do with. Because when you wait with pride. When you walk with pride, having those shoes covering your feet. So you better choose your people, or the people that you want to be surrounded with, correctly. Because if you choose the wrong one, it's going to be like one shoes is turning to the right and the other one turning to the left. So that's why it's so important in our life that in each and everything that we do, we don't take a calculated risk, but we do take a right decisions when doing anything or taking a decision of something, because otherwise you'll find yourself with two pair of wrong shoes. I always tell my sister and my brothers, I said, look, our life is like a pair of socks. If you don't find the right pair, you will not be able to wear your shoes, because people will be start laughing at you as you walk in the street. But with the generation of today, everything is possible, that they can wear two pair of socks of different color in the street. But our generations, once you wear that, people will start laughing at you. So basically, for me, it's teaching me that choose your friends carefully, choose your friends, and those you think that you're going to spend the rest of your entire life, either friends, either family, either relationship, just choose them very, very careful, because those are like shoes that you have to measure before you fit them in on your feet. Just to share our session today, Simon, I will be joining the session like always. I was looking forward to it. I'm currently traveling with 4 French clients of mine. Just last minute booking. We are traveling. We went to Fish River Canyon. Now we find ourselves in Ludritz, which is on the southwest of Namibia. It's the second harbor of Namibia. It's a very, very beautiful day. We have a very blue sky, and I can see people here. They are doing skiing. They are doing water skiing, and the boat is just about to leave now, because I'm going for the boat cruise now, where I'm going to explore some penguins, or to see the penguin island, and hopefully to see some dolphins and whales. But yesterday, during our boat cruise as well, we saw a whale in the harbor. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day yesterday. So today, I'm willing to share my travel gem in Africa, but it's not going to be Namibia once again. But I will share one of my 32 countries that I've traveled with everybody tonight. So please join us for tonight, as you're going to sit in your sitting room, but you will travel with us virtually, because that's what we're here for. We are about to share the travel gem, the space that you need to look forward to, or look to travel in the future. We know that traveling at the moment, it's very difficult, but we can be able to travel virtually. Just remember, travel is a therapy, and we are the therapist. Thank you.
I love that. I love how you closed it. Travel is therapy, and we are the therapist. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I just want to continue on, but before I continue on with, just giving Flamingo the microphone, I want to let everybody know that I turned off hand raising. I do this at 6:30 a.m. Exactly. That's 30 minutes into our conversation. So if you are unable to join us on stage, please join us tomorrow. And within the first half hour, we will, bring you up on stage so that you can also share your perspectives. So now we are just going to focus on our special guests, Chioma, Sherry, and also our guests on stage who are sharing their perspectives on the proverb. And also feel free to make a comment. If Chioma shared something that moved you, feel free to make a comment around it. Flamingo, how are you? Thank you for your support. Share your perspective on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. Thank you.
Peace and blessings to everybody. Joseph, I want some travel therapy after this COVID is over. But thank you for hosting this room and for the space and inviting me to the stage, Simon. Every time I come to this room, it feels like it's a beautiful prayer in a way. As far as this proverb, it makes me think about the scientific aspect of it, measuring things. I am an oncology nurse. I'm on my feet a lot, and having shoes that fit literally makes a difference in your quality of life. How your body feels at the end of a 12-hour shift, your back, your knees. Literally, it's your quality of life and your health. As far as scientifically, it makes me think about the scientific method and how important it is to have accuracy when we are dealing with patients. And in general, science allows you to answer important questions, and doing your background research makes a difference. I'm just amazed. Our African ancestors were so wise. They were ahead of their time, that they said, measure your feet. Make sure you do your background research before you do your experiment. I just find it to be incredible. But thank you, and that's as much as I can say for now. But it's really wise.
Thank you so much, Flamingo. As you're speaking, I was also reminded that this proverb can also relate to swimming. Before you jump in the water, make sure you know how to swim. What do you think about that, Chioma?
No, I just laughed because I was like, I don't know how to swim, so I wouldn't do that.
I know. It's amazing how I've been in near death situations because I got too excited when I saw friends jumping in the river, and I just jumped too. I was just like, this is the plan. This is what I need to do. And I'm telling you, the disasters I've been through for not following what this proverb is trying to say is just amazing. Anyhow, thank you, Flamingo. Tracy, nice to see you. And I would love to hear what you have to say about today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. Thank you so much.
Hello, Simon, Chioma. I love hearing just your wisdom, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you. This proverb is just so wise. Like it just reminds me to really take a moment to pause and breathe, connect with my inner knowing, my inner wisdom, my inner self before moving forward in anything that I do. Making sure that the intention is coming from me versus doing something to get some validation outside of myself. So it's just always checking in. And the way that I check in is first by just being still and breathing so that I just get to experience and be in my own presence. And then I just ask myself a question regarding whatever it is that I'm about to do. And then I just notice what my body feels like. I notice what my mind is thinking. And then I just connect deeply with my soul because I know that my soul is always moving in the right direction for me as I speak my truth. So it's just connecting to that inner knowing inside of us and then feeling, trusting, and believing whatever is coming up and then moving beyond that. So this is Tracy, and I'm done speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. I love that. Thank you very much. Hey, Noel, how are you? And what are your thoughts about today's proverb? Thank you so much.
Good morning, Grand Rising. So this proverb, it gives me a lot of different layers, but the gist of it is know what you're getting into in every aspect. And then the other way that I see it is, I was actually talking to one of my clients about this the other day, but a lot of times we ask for things and our container isn't big enough. You got to make sure you are able to house, hold, withstand whatever it is that you are desiring or asking for. So there's a lot of different wisdoms that I pull from this one proverb.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. Zizi, it's wonderful to have you here with us today. Share with us your thoughts on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. The proverb says, before you buy shoes, measure your feet. And for those who are just joining us, welcome to the Daily African Proverbs. We are grateful for your presence. Zizi, I'll pass you the microphone.
Thank you, Simon. Actually, I think I probably will repeat whatever has been said, but I think it's not only knowing yourself, but knowing your worth. Because, if somebody doesn't respect you and doesn't celebrate you, it's not so much like you know yourself only, but also, knowing your worth and see if people are treating you the way you would like to be treated. But definitely, it's an excellent proverb to know yourself and know yours, and remember who you are and where you're going and who are you associating with. Like what kind of friends having, are they people who are beat you, or are they people that bring you? So it's almost an evaluation of oneself from aspects. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Zizi. I'm just so grateful that you're here. I know we are about to hear from Bibi and Mala, but I want to just read a couple of comments that are coming to us here from the YouTube side of things. By the way, if you're on YouTube and watching this, please remember to subscribe and also push the thumbs up button. We are joined here by As We Awaken, who is saying that shoes, sometimes we have to take a step, an approach back in certain situations. And he or she also says shoes are our mindset or connection with our spiritual journey. And also, in addition to that, he or she says shoes are our mental approach to our journey. Feet are the spiritual approach. I just love that. Bibi, thank you for being here with us, and thank you for your continued support. What's your perspective on today's proverb?
Sorry, I was a little bit far away. It's beautiful, and listening to everyone, it's just like it just tells you how everyone is so familiar with this proverb, because it's true. In life, we always have to be aware. But I'm gonna use this as a runner. We have to, of course, get the right shoes for different distances in our races. For example, with long distance, your feet is supposed, or the shoes is supposed to measure at least half a size bigger. But when you're sprinting, the shoes has to fit just right. If it's too loose, it may come off when you're running or when you're sprinting. And when you're running a long distance and your shoes is too tight, guess what's going to happen? Your toes are going to come off, and you'll be in a lot of pain out of being uncomfortable. And the reason why the orthopedics and everyone that deals with legs and bones and stuff requires that we wear half size bigger is because you'll be running for a very long time, and it's not a temporary thing or a short-term thing. Just like life is a marathon. And as much as we have to be aware of ourselves, we can't rush it. And we just have to be ready for the unexpected. Because when we train for marathons or when we're running marathons, you may not expect it, but most likely it will happen, and that is an injury. And one thing I learned about running that stuck with me is what you put into it is what you will get back. Just kind of like when you save money in your or when you deposit money in your account, you will get something back later on if you deposit enough. But if you keep subtracting instead of depositing and leaving it there, the results will be not in your favor. And I'll end with running almost killed me, but running also saved my life. And that's because I say it also saved my life because my accident, I believe it was meant just for me because of how hurt I was. And if anyone else were to be in my shoes at that time, maybe they wouldn't have survived because of running. Running kept me healthy. I ate well and it kept me young because when my lungs were filled with blood, they spent 10 minutes reviving me. And if I wasn't healthy, if I was a drinker or smoker, I wouldn't have made it. And until now, the doctors, they can't explain how I'm still alive. So this proverb it just hit me so hard, and I just wanted to share that life is a marathon. So we always have to be aware, but also expect the unexpected. And with that, I yield my mic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, baby. Life is truly, truly a marathon. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Your inspiring story about running. I'm deeply grateful. Mala, share with us your thoughts as well on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. The proverb says, "Before you buy shoes, measure your feet."
Great day, everyone. It's a beautiful day in Philadelphia, and I could look at Zoom and see your smiling faces, Simon and Chioma, and hello to everyone on the stage. It just, so much of what has been shared has resonated with me, but where it took me was to my childhood and growing up in Black Baptist Church here in Philadelphia. And it brought back like Luke, I think it's like Luke 14:28. And it's basically talking about like, who of you who desires to build a tower or something like that does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it, and just the wisdom of our ancestors unctioning us to, to count the cost, right? So whether it's the shoes on our feet, whether it's the energy that we go into a thing, whether it's a romantic partnership, a business opportunity, there's like this feast or famine way that the world wants you to think that it works that doesn't honor nature. And so this idea that, either I'm very calculated about everything to the point that I don't do anything, or I just throw caution to the wind, right? But there's risk and there's something, to be lost in both things. And so, taking a beat, taking a breath, getting grounded, assessing what you need to the best of your ability, and going into situations prepared, right? Not necessarily like on a dare or on a whim, but being prepared. And I mean, what more preparation than your feet, literally? Our ancestors did a great deal of walking, and so how you prepare for the journey is important to it, beginning with the end in mind, that there's something you want to complete, there's something you want to obtain. And so intentionality, preparation, all of those things came to me. And, when you talked about like, jumping, knowing how deep something is before you jump into it, right? Like swimming, but when you think about like love, how do you know how vast? How do you know what I mean? So there's this that we talked about this week also, like the double meaning of words. So what I love about these proverbs is they greet us where we are, but they can take us everywhere. And I've just enjoyed hearing so much from all of you and Chioma's poetry. So thank you so much. Looking forward to more time in the room.
Oh, thank you, Mal. I'm grateful, for your beautiful and wise share. And I also want to bring in Simply E. Simply E, how did we do today? Before we bring in Chioma to, share the poem, and also to just share, you know, a summary of everything she had, her closing remarks. And also, Chioma, remember to share how people can support you. Sometimes supporting you is as simple as going directly to Chioma's Instagram and following her, because it's connected to her profile, so that you can read some of the amazing poems that she shares there on a regular basis. That's me pushing for Chioma, but she will tell you what she wants later on. Anyhow, Simply, how did we do today?
That was great as an advocate. We did great today. I think we definitely looked at the proverb from different points of view, and I think that that's so phenomenal. You think when you view something, you've seen all points. If you're searching for it, and you're like, I went on a purposeful search to see every angle, and yet and still there were still people surrounding us on stage that had a different point of view of how they saw this proverb. And so I think that just added to the energy of the space. We did very well today. And I wanted to mention this too. If you're in the space and you haven't joined the African Father in America Club, you want to make sure that you're doing that on Clubhouse. For those folks who are watching on YouTube, you definitely want to come over to Clubhouse as well, just so you got options. Thank you, Simon, for this space. I'm loving it. Shioma, goodness gracious.
Thank you so much, Simply E. Simon, would you like me to give my roundup?
Yes, please. I would love you to do that. But before you do, I just want to comment on a conversation I'm seeing going on here on YouTube that is actually amazing. I think most people on YouTube right now are also familiar with Clubhouse. So I see W Do saying that, well, there was an interesting conversation going on, and then W Do says, I raised my hand, I will land my plane, after expressing themselves by text, So it's just amazing how the Clubhouse culture actually permeates into other conversations. And I just want to thank you all for being on YouTube with us. I've been working hard to grow the channel. So if you can share this video later on with your community, leave a comment there, push the thumbs up button. It would really mean a lot, and subscribe so that we can grow, the community, especially on YouTube. Thank you again, Chioma, for taking the time every Wednesday to make this possible. And take it away. Share with us your closing remarks. What did you hear during the last 20 or so minutes? And then share with us the poem, and then how we can support you.
All right. So some of the points that I took from each person. So Simon, you said watch your step before you make your move. And I was like, ooh, okay. Simply E, measure twice, cut once. You mentioned the importance of like accuracy and being intentional. Nonofu, you mentioned capacity, like knowing our capacity. Sharon, you said it reminds you of the need to like know ourselves, like know our needs and our desires, and make sure that it aligns with our purpose. Fred, you brought a really interesting perspective. You said shoes is the physical and feet is the spiritual connection. And buying is like the telling of our story. So like having the question, like, what shoes am I going to wear today? Like, what story am I, living out today? Joseph, you reminded us to choose your friends and relationships carefully. Flamingo, you talked about how the proverb kind of like connected to health. You said having shoes that fit literally affect the quality of our life and health. So make sure we do our background research. Tracy, you said it reminds you to take a moment to pause and breathe and connect. And as someone who's just like doing yoga, like these are things that's really important to me. So like when you said that, I was like, ooh, yes. And like listening to the soul. Noelle, you said know what you're getting into. Make sure you're able to house whatever it is that you're desiring and asking for. So I really love those like two perspectives. Zizi, you mentioned knowing your worth. BB, you reminded us that like life is a marathon. And I just love how you shared your story. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And Marla, count the cost. And preparing for the journey. So those are points that really stuck with me. I am going to share the poem again. But if you were listening in the beginning, there's a line that's slightly different. So let's see if anyone will catch that. I'm going to read it. So this is a poem I wrote in connection with the proverb. What happens when you don't know yourself? You start picking up everything, anything up off the shelf. Got a somebody that's toxic, eating you alive. Got a jacket that don't fit 2 or 3 times your size. Got a career you picked yourself that's making you drown. Got pants that's way too big. Any step and it falls down. Not enough room in your belly, but all that food in your bowl. You keep mistaking yourself for broken when you've always been whole. You a winner out here, but you moving in defeat. Baby, remember before you buy shoes, measure your feet. And that is the poem. You all can support me by following me on IG, Chioma, at chioma.cherie. So literally my name with like a dot in the middle. You can connect with me on there. We can continue the conversation, send me poetry, we can work together. So just, yeah, anything. I'm open. I'm open. So thank you all so much. And thank you so much, Simon, for just this opportunity in this space. I really love this space.
Me too. Hey, I feel that I caught the similarity between the two poems, but I didn't catch the difference. You know, the ending was exactly the same, you know.
Did you catch it? I wonder, did anyone catch it?
Simply, did you catch the
I
difference?
didn't catch it. I tried, but I didn't catch it.
Okay, so there's a line. So
I thought I caught something. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
Sharon thinks she caught it.
Oh, Sharon,
Go
what is
ahead.
it?
Well, in the first one, I thought I heard, you've always been whole, but you were looking for the other half.
You got
And then
it. You got
this
it,
time
Sherry.
around, you said, now I've forgotten exactly what you said, but that was the difference.
No,
Because
that
I
was
really,
it.
the first one really resonated with me. So will you remind us of what
I will.
the second one was?
So the first one was you keep wanting another half when you've always been whole. And then the second one was you keep mistaking yourself for broken when you've always been whole.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Me too.
Thank you. I don't know which one to do.
Well, keep
That's
them
hard.
both.
I guess I will. I
Yeah.
will. Because
Yeah.
just like this proverb says, you know, to have a complete shoe, you need both pairs. So, you know.
Ooh, okay, Simon. Ooh. I like
So
that.
yeah, so keep them both. Anyhow, thank you again, Chioma, and thank you to all our YouTube viewers. Again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all our friends who are on Clubhouse, especially Simply E. Thank you for holding these Wednesday sessions down. I'm just grateful. And tomorrow, Thursday, Gogo Rutendo Ngara is back with us again. She's another amazing spiritual leader based in South Africa that I host every Thursday. So join us for that and have a beautiful day. Chioma, have a nice day. I was actually thinking of adding Philly to my to my bucket list of places I should visit in the US. I'll be doing it within the year, by the way. I'm publishing a book. My book is called Rooted in Love. It's out on March 7th, It's on pre-sale as we speak. So if you want to take a look, you can go to my link tree, which is connected to my Instagram page, and you'll be able to, get it through pre-sale. I think it's the second or third drop down menu when you go to my link tree. My link tree is also on my Twitter. It's everywhere. So that's one way you can support, by getting Rooted in Love, as a pre-sale. Again, I'm grateful, and I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you, Chioma.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.